Hi, I'm Juro, and this is Morena Morena Presents, a podcast where I interview different, interesting people every week to hopefully shed light on what it means to be a dark skinned Filipino. Today I'm talking to Rain Matienzo, a BA Broadcast Communication student in UP Diliman, UAAP Season 82 courtside reporter, and content creator. We talk about the internal pressures of being a Morena, materializing confidence, creating authentically, and more. Don't forget to follow Morena Morena on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to Morena Morena Presents on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. Thanks and enjoy the interview. It's just for because I've worked with my PR friend a lot, and I think she's into. I think that PR side is the one that handles the, what do you call them, influencer marketing, stuff like that.
Yeah, influencer marketing.
So have you been getting
So,
the hang of working
ayun.
with yung mga brands, and then or just still
Actually,
a weird?
it feels so weird that people are like, "Oh wow, can we get you as an influencer?" And
Yeah,
it's like, what? Because that's not my background. Like, I don't purposely create content. Na
yeah,
parang, okay, I wanna
to be
create content
influencing.
and curate it for people. Cause I did courtside reporting, so most of my experiences and like my goals talaga before was for me to get into the media industry
Mm-hmm.
and like work talaga, but not so much like the
Yeah, the
influencer work
influencing
because
part.
it's so new. It's so new. So I've been trying to manage it as much as I can, but I'm asking for help from like my cousin because she's also doing influencer marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
she helps me down to like use this emoji so
Yeah,
you look so perky. So parang, what?
nice. Yeah, parang it's like down to a science now with yung brands handling all their products. Are there any projects that you've taken on na you're not allowed to say, like super secret stuff, or not yet?
Um,
Nothing too big, naman.
Nothing. Well, I do have like confidential
Uh huh.
projects na, pero I don't think it's like bawal to disclose
Yeah,
the partnership because they're upcoming now. But then of course, like the details, since it's gonna be launched pa lang, I
yeah.
can't really talk much about it.
Have you turned down any brands?
So far I try not to.
Yeah.
So far I try not to, but then sometimes kasi there are brands that are just not in line with the persona that
Mm-hmm.
I have created online. And I mean, of course, if they send me stuff, I want to try it out.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it's just like, especially when they ask for too much,
Yeah.
parang I want to do it honestly because it's like just helping out people. But sometimes I also have to reconsider my school schedule because I'm
Yeah.
still studying. So ayun, parang that's still the priority. And if I have prior postings that are kind of bad, like gonna coincide with whatever is coming, of course those I turn down.
Yeah. I asked because I had a friend on the podcast, si Trish Terrado. She's
Mhm.
millennial Morena, and then she talked about also having those brand deals. And then there were
Mhm.
some that she had to turn down. Or wait, no. I think I'm getting her mixed up with my earlier guest.
All
Shoot.
right, it's a thinker.
It might have been Trish or si Therese. Therese was episode 1, Trish was episode 2. Both Morena,
Mhm.
obviously. And then one of them
Yeah.
had a brand approach them na, oh, hey, can you promote this whitening gluta thing for me? And yeah, they had to be firm with their rejection of the brand.
Mhm. Mhm.
Does that
There was
ever?
a time na, oh yeah. Oh sorry, did I cut off
Oh,
your
no, go ahead, go
question?
ahead.
No, because there are people coming to me, but then I think more of skincare wise kasi I don't like changing my skincare up because I
Yeah.
don't like right now I'm so pale and I
Uh
don't
huh.
like being pale.
Wait, don't
So
say
as
that
much
on
as
the podcast.
possible.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh sorry. Oh my goodness,
I'm
I'm
just
so
kidding.
sorry. Because I don't know, I just like having color talaga.
Yeah.
So there are times na, oh, I think this will alter my
Yeah.
my look. So those I don't know, pass off.
Yeah. And I think it also comes with being, or your brand as a, especially being on screen a lot. Do you find that
Mhm.
being Morena is already part of, it's like solidified as the Rain signature? I don't
Oh
know.
wow. I
What do you
mean, I
think?
would love to. I would love to be like, I am like so Morena. Get me for
Yeah.
gigs, ganyan. But well, lately it hasn't really become an issue. Parang I always say I love being dark skin. I love being Morena. Although I know na parang there are some opportunities na like you have, for instance, if you audition for like a role na bida, like
Yeah.
I've tried to audition for one, and then I kind of felt na like you have to have that fair tone to your
Uh-huh.
face para
Okay.
you look ano ba yun? You look like, what do you call this? You look pleasing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that I have felt
Yeah.
when I was auditioning. Parang, okay, I feel like I have to make my ring light, make my face
Yeah.
beam. Parang ganon.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up the being or auditioning for a bida because one of my later questions, Sana, was gonna be I heard on
It's
a
okay. Let's just circle back to that if you want.
yeah. I think no, it's fine. We can jump around wherever. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
sayang. Yeah, one of my
All
notes
right.
was you mentioned one time you wanted to play a contrabida.
Yeah, I really want to, honestly. Parang, I don't know. I honestly, growing up, I just feel like it's because I've seen contrabidas resemble my features better, like morena, and I have really strong features, like
Yeah.
my jawline, ganyan. It's so my cheekbones are protruded. So just seeing like, okay, mas ito yung kamukha ko over this other
Yeah.
person. I just feel like I could execute the role better.
I see.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so parang I don't know if it's like cultural conditioning.
Yeah.
I try to act as a bida sometimes. Like
Uh-huh.
kahit ano lang, kahit parang with the families, like, okay, sige, let's like try this scene. It's hard. It's hard. I made this TikTok of Four Sisters and the Wedding.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
Tapos, yeah, and I did Bobby, and everyone's like, parang I see you more as Teddy. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, fine. I guess it's not for me. Like, yung crying, being pretty, and like, maputi while crying. It's like, no, I'm like, ano.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're
Sorry.
kind of, I don't know, parang typecast as contrabida given your, or I don't know,
My
because when I
TikTok,
was
yeah.
thinking about it, usually when I think, for example, contrabida in a teenage romance coming of age film, it's usually like a, or what comes to mind is like a mestiza person. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
I don't follow much locally produced films, but then yeah, that's the image that comes to mind, and I don't know. I found it interesting how you are drawn to becoming a contrabida looking not like what I think is a stereotypical contrabida. Does that make sense?
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
But the
I
strong
just
features I get the
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the vibe. I don't know. I like playing contrabida roles because it's so fun. You get a lot
Mhm.
of layers to the character. So parang yeah, you could be presented as a contrabida like a villain, but then deep inside, of course, there's another layer to it, like what made you become that. And I feel like when you act as that, there's just so much underneath that
Yeah.
people don't really see. Because usually when your characters see protagonist, parang everything is already laid out on
Yeah.
the surface, and you have to touch all those acting, all those areas of acting
Mhm.
for you to effectively portray a bida. But then when you're contra bida, there's something underneath that you
Yeah.
have to like mask at first. So I
Yeah.
don't know, it's just fun because I love acting also. Like I did I had theater classes. I mean, I'm not great at it, but I love like
Yeah.
studying about it. So ayun.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you then about your acting background if you had any, because I know that you once got into a production because you cried somehow and weren't expecting to be called back, but then you made it
But via crying.
Yeah.
I was 8. I think I was 8 years old or even 7 years old. I auditioned for a church play.
Uh-huh.
So the church play, I wanted to sing Tomorrow by Annie, but then didn't work out because I got so shy in front of the judges or the people who choose, ganyan.
Yeah.
And then I never really got to read a line or as much as say a line sa song or like even hum it. I cried, and then they're like, okay, maybe let's get to her. So I was really just expecting, that I will be, what do you call this? That I will be like choir or ensemble, But then hindi. They afterwards when I got into the whole production, they were able, like, they workshopped us, but they were able to touch into like another side of me na like coming out of my shell.
Yeah.
So, ayun, I think that's when I got cast as a main character. Because my character then, hindi rin ako mabait. I was like sassy. So I think from
Okay.
there, it's like, okay, let's stick
That
to
plays
this.
out. Yeah, the contribida part.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how right your first TikTok that went viral about the Konyo girl introducing wait, I might get the title wrong. Introducing herself to the guy best friend's girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
contra-B role if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
mean,
so
yeah.
fun. I love making that TikTok. Actually, I have never experienced it. People are like, oh, Rain, so ano ha, like you're a scary girl best friend pala. You're a girl best friend that I don't want to meet ever. And
Hmm.
it's like, I haven't even done that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to have the potential. So, but I haven't done that.
Wait, I was thinking of if we should continue with this whole acting tangent or like get into the
Okay.
interview because yeah, that's a lot of background to cover. Okay, we'll circle back to it and then we'll start with the what is it like for you growing up dark skinned?
Oh yeah. Well, growing up, I wasn't because I love playing outside. I played outside with my cousins growing up, and then I would swim a lot. I love swimming, like recreational swimming, and I would jump in, not even putting on sunblock. So
Yeah.
growing up, me and my cousins and my siblings, we would always rub each other's noses, and then I would always have like peeling skin. So
Uh-huh.
it's not growing up, my skin wasn't glowing or radiant or like fresh, ganon. I I actually got teased a lot in within the family.
Mm-hmm.
Like my cousins would be like, "Bayan, Rin, ang itim-itim mo," ganon. And then because my cousins are morena, they're not all like fair
Yeah.
skin, but I don't know, for some reason I'm always the butt of the joke. So I was like, what? I don't understand. So it really did affect a great deal of my self esteem.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew naman kasi na joke lang. Pero parang just dismissing that and not really dealing with it. I just always felt like, oh yeah, I'm going to be at a disadvantage because I am not because I'm Morana rather. And then like in elementary, I don't think I remember much like within my classmates because it was a pretty supportive environment, like growing up in a small private
Mm-hmm.
school. But so I did theater when I was 8 in church. So of course it's a supportive environment because it's a church play.
Yeah.
But when I did workshop, like summer workshop outside, so I'm not gonna like drop names or whatever, but I just
You
remember
can drop
I
names.
came.
Just
What?
kidding.
I don't want to.
It's okay. I'm just kidding.
I I came from because it's a summer workshop, obviously. So I loved swimming, and then when we went swimming, I didn't put on sunblock, and I was under the sun for like I don't know. I think that was like 10 hours, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
When I came back to the workshop, I remember this girl because me and my cousins, three of us went to the workshop, and all of
Yeah.
us were burnt because we swam together. And then there's this girl. She was like pointing at us when we came through the door, and she
Uh-huh.
wasn't even being subtle about it. She was like motioning
Ah,
that she's
jeez.
gonna vomit because we're so dark, and it's just like, oh my goodness,
That's
you're so mean,
my
diba?
God.
But it was for me. I didn't really deal with it. Na parang, oh my gosh, I'm
Yeah.
so ugly. No, it was more like, wow, like why is she reacting like that when it's something normal for a child to be dark after
Uh-huh.
swimming, diba? So that's when I really realized na there's this what do you call this societal problem about colorism because I can accept, you know, yung mga teasing from my cousins because it's normal.
Yeah.
But outside, experiencing it outside and having that very vivid memory. Until
Mhm.
now, I was like I was 10, so that was 10 years ago. Still remember it, like what I wore, what she was wearing, her face. And whenever I see her now
Oh,
on
man.
social media, I haven't
Yeah.
really seen her. I haven't seen that girl since then.
Yeah.
But I see her now, like she shows up sometimes on my For You page.
Uh-huh.
And then I really blocked her because I can't. It's like, it reminds me of bad days,
Yeah.
something like that. And then in high school, I was dark as well because I don't know why. I just feel like, wala eh. I always loved being under the sun and I
Yeah.
didn't care. And then I would get people would say, "Tapos kunyari pasok ako na school," and then my hair would be like messy because obviously it's morning. And then my classmate would be like, "Rin, you look like a rape victim." And I'm just like, "What?
A what
Why
victim?
do
Sorry?
people a rape victim?" Like, cause it's crazy. I know. It's just like, what are these insults? And like, where are they coming from? They don't even line up. So parang, I just couldn't believe it. And then growing up, I would also have this, I would always tell myself, maybe she like got chosen for this, let's say, prom queen, ganyan. I would
Yeah.
always think, oh, kasi she's kasi she's like fair skinned, ganyan.
Yeah.
So,
Ah.
just having these like, stereotypical events happening in my life as a
Mhm.
morena, it really solidified na, oh, I'm at a disadvantage. So growing up, when I started to like go and get my opportunities, I was thinking, oh, maybe if I audition for this, they won't like me because I'm morena. And when I audition for like commercials,
Yeah.
I get the text, most of the characters are like fair skinned. Dapat mo kang beauty queen.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? But not all beauty queens
Yeah.
are fair skinned. So you're not gonna let me audition because I'm not fair skinned. So it's just frustrating.
I was gonna, cause I was hoping to get one. I don't know what you guys call it, casting director, casting person for
Yeah.
those kinds of productions, and then ask them like what goes on behind the selection process of like who gets to pick the features of the person. Like I joined this group for actors and casting people just to see how it's
Yeah.
like, and then usually the
Uh-huh.
descriptions are charming, can speak Filipino and English,
Mm-hmm.
clear complexion, stuff like that, fair skin. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
it's usually for a certain kind of character, and then yeah, you can see the patterns, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't know, kasi parang when you think about commercials, you have to be like that plain face.
Yeah.
You can't really, you don't have much of an avenue to, I don't know, like stand out. So growing up, I've always wanted to try a lot of things. So parang I had a nose piercing, and
Mhm.
then I had like, I wanted to maybe like get a tattoo, color my hair a different color. But my mom, kasi she's such a stage mom. She always says, if you do that, you're gonna miss opportunities
Mhm.
for you to like do commercials, for you to do acting gigs, ganyan. So I think that's why I never really got to come out ng like explore that edgy side of me
Yeah.
when I was a teenager. So ayun. And now I can't do it na kasi parang, of course, well, it's not me naman na.
Yeah.
Like me being edgy, it's not me anymore. But looking back, I just wish I had done all those. Because if hindi naman din ako kukunin for like a casting, for
Mhm.
a gig, like, what for? I should
Yeah,
have just
that's
done all
true.
those things when I could have.
That sounds pretty cool. Now your mom's very aware of like marketing yourself to all these casting people and production people. Has she always been
Yeah.
that supportive of, I guess, your acting career?
Well, I haven't been acting, but yeah, she's very, very supportive. Like she comes with me to gigs. I had more liberty with like how I wanted to present myself when I was in radio and when I was doing a lot of hosting gigs because
Mhm.
yun, hindi naman masyadong kailangan na you have to market yourself a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when you present yourself. So during those years, she would let me tread with caution, like when I got my nose pierced, ganyan. When I have my hair colored a different, like it's na hindi not natural,
Yeah.
ganon. She's very cautious about that, but it did. Well, I'd say it in the end, it did pay off to like have that support, have that reminder.
Mhm.
Pero yun nga, I think just a thing that I wish I could have done more was to become more edgy and explored
Rebellious.
more like how to hindi naman
Not rebellious.
but, like,
Okay, edgy.
just like mix up my look, like
Tattoos.
my look growing up.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then like because I honestly wanted na to parang shave my head like buzz cut when
Uh-huh.
I think that was like a couple years ago, but she's
Okay,
like, no, you can't, you're a host. So yeah, yun lang.
I think the buzz cut could work out. I don't know. Yeah.
I have a big head. I can't.
Did your mom play a part in supporting your self-esteem with, yeah, you mentioned your cousins teasing you about your dark skin and then people in school. Well, not so much your grade school life because, I don't know, maybe your mom being a teacher helped out in protecting you.
Yeah,
From
it
teasing.
did. It really did.
Yeah,
It really did. So mom, yeah, growing up, she never really made me feel that I was at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of like outside factors because I knew parang there was never a time in my life na I wanted to be fair skinned.
Yeah.
I don't remember like buying papaya soap,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't remember any instance in my life na I want to stay inside na lang kasi I
Yeah.
don't want to get dark. So no naman. And I think it helps because she's like, wala, like that's you. And if there are opportunities for you naman, you'll still get it. No,
That's
no
nice.
matter what your skin color is, ganyan. And yeah, like her being in school, being my teacher,
Mm-hmm.
being my teacher, it helped a lot with my self esteem because parang I had to step it up na parang when I get opportunities, let's say I would be chosen to maybe do a declamation, represent the school for a
Mm-hmm.
declamation competition, it really would be hard earned because we don't want people saying, oh, she only got it because she's the like daughter of a
Daughter, yeah.
teacher, ganyan. So parang a lot of it was hard earned. And growing up, yun nga, she always boosted my self esteem, not just like color wise, but in every aspect of myself. So, love you, mommy. Shout out.
Is your mom dark skinned then? Not really.
No, yun nga, no eh. It was so funny, pero she didn't mean this kwento in a demeaning way.
Yeah.
She told me when I came out of like her womb, she was shocked na I was so dark.
Oh
Because
no.
my dad's kind of moreno, pero not as dark as I was growing up, honestly. So parang, ano ko ba yan?
And
So,
you do have siblings, right?
I do.
Are they
My
as
brother,
dark?
no, my brother is not actually. When he was young, people would think na, oh, is he like half American, ganon? Kasi he has like good features. Also, tas mukha talaga siyang
Interesting.
mestizo. But my sister's morena.
So it isn't too out of like it's not too weird
Mhm.
na you guys are the only ones who ended up being morena in your family. And then
No naman.
yeah, and then you did mention your other cousins they weren't like fair skinned. They were also
Yeah, no.
dark-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So it's like it's a good mix of
Yeah.
skin tones in our family.
And then gathering from what you said about your mom being supportive of you, I think that plays a really big part in someone's self-esteem, especially like growing up. And then, so if most of the criticisms for your dark skin came from the outside world, like that kid you mentioned in your acting school, was she a close friend or no naman, not even?
No, not even. And
Oh,
it's
jeez.
funny because I would if a close friend would insult me or like family member, it's fine. I would let it slide off.
Yeah.
But if it's someone I don't know, it's like, why are you being so mean? Like
Yeah.
it's so I don't understand.
Interesting, because weird for someone who doesn't know you to make that kind of insult to a stranger. And I'm really curious on who this is and if she appeared on your For You page, maybe she's someone with a big following and
No
no,
naman. I don't know.
okay.
Maybe TikTok is just messing with me,
Uh-huh.
like China hacking my data or something.
Do you ever get scared of that? Like the whole conspiracy of what they might do with all the
Because I watched The Social Dilemma, so
Yeah.
being present on the internet, it would definitely have like its pros and cons. But I feel like if I focus too much on it, it would really parang stop me
Yeah.
from making content because I'd just be living in fear. I mean, generally, yeah, it's so scary because it's unknown and it's something that I definitely am against na parang they get my data if ever that is true,
Mhm.
which I believe it is naman. But if I dwell too much on it, it's gonna stop me from
Yeah.
getting like my opportunities now. So and then I think naman, ano bang data nakukuha nila
Yeah,
from
that's
me?
true.
Baka naman hindi naman din substantial. Like maybe I get like the social dilemma, parang your daily activities are parang tracked, the people that you
Uh-huh.
always talk to, but then I don't really have like super important
Yeah,
data.
that's fine too.
that that will be a gold mine to them.
Yeah, something that I keep at the back of my mind, but then yeah, just try to be careful on what stuff you have out there. Anyways, going back to being brown.
All right.
In your more recent I guess, broadcasting gigs, like being a courtside reporter, did you have any, or did being brown skinned have any impact on the process of becoming a courtside reporter, or like from auditioning to being a public figure on TV? Did it play a part in any of that?
Actually, well, there's always this question in the back of my mind na would I not be selected because
Mm-hmm.
I'm morena?
Yeah.
Like there's always that fear, and it's not just something that I brushed off easily. Like it really was something bothering me throughout the audition process. Now seeing all these girls, because there were barely morena,
Mm-hmm.
there were barely any morenas auditioning. But I auditioned for season 81, and all of them are like
Mm-hmm.
chinita, so fair skin, and a lot. I grew really insecure when I didn't get in because I got into the very last round. Like we were only 10, and then they selected five of us,
Yeah.
five of them rather. So parang I didn't get in, and then I was like, is it because I am not conventionally pretty?
Yeah.
So well, it kasi it like the harsh reality.
Yeah.
It
It's
matters.
yeah.
It matters here on TV. You're gonna be a face representing the network. So ayun, parang like, is it really something that hindered me? Or I mean, I know that there were skills, or there were like specific skill sets also na I didn't have pa then. Pero parang I always just wonder at the back of my mind na, did it play a part?
Yeah.
But so it paano ba? Auditioning for season 82 again, I was like shocked. Do I still audition? Like, do I even have a shot? So at that point, I was no longer like banking on how I look. I was
Yeah.
heavily banking on my skills. And in a way, with that thing in the back of my mind, it's so negative. But I always try to channel it into something positive. Like, it did help me study more. Like, I literally sat down with a
Yeah.
friend studying basketball, studying the ins and outs of UAAP. And it did help. But then coming into the industry, I think it's not as much of a hindrance to me getting in as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yun.
So not really much, but like when you were a courtside reporter, like during the season, like you didn't get any criticisms about being dark skinned, or was it like all? Did you realize it was all internal?
A lot of it was internal. Yeah, na parang my insecurity about being morena. A lot of it was
Mm-hmm.
internal pala because getting in, I'm so blessed that it's also another supportive environment that I got into. Like yeah, there are ups and downs because it's still media,
Yeah.
pero not so much directed at my appearance, especially coming from people. Because when people watch sports, they don't really. It's not like showbiz, and they care so much about how you did your eyebrows today or
Yeah.
how you fixed your hair today. No, they care about what you have to say. They care about the game. So
Yeah.
coming into it, it really built my confidence. Na parang they're looking at what I have to bring to the table, not
Yeah.
what I look like presented to them.
Ah.
So ayun.
So it's more like substance focused than aesthetic focus.
Yeah. But syempre, like with that in the back of my mind, like an internal conflict with my skin color, I always strive to give my 110%.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm sure people who aren't morena, they also give enough
Yeah.
effort. But siguro for me lang,
Yeah.
like if I were if I were born fair skinned, I
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't exert the amount of effort that I did before, I do now,
Yeah.
because like I just think now I can get away with it because I'm
Yeah.
pretty. So
Yeah, it's an interesting thing you brought up because I'm not sure from what psych study it might be, but then like there was
Mhm.
this study about how people track the performance of women in the academic field compared to guys, and then it showed that women usually excel more because they feel like they have to prove something. And I think that's kind of similar to what's
Oh my
going on
gosh,
in
you just
your
went all therapy on me, Erica.
But yeah, I feel like that's a similar thing that happened to you and being a courtside reporter where you'd give your 110%. And
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe maybe other girls who are morena feel like that way in their own fields. And I don't know, being a public figure to me is really scary because being an introvert
It is.
is,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like that, imagining that whole scenario of being on TV, doing all those press things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard. Like there was a time pa. Oh yeah, very recently. Because I went to the beach. I went to Bali in
Mm-hmm.
January. And then when I came back, I was worrying. I was like, shucks, am I gonna get scolded by like my producers? They don't really care naman. Pero ako lang, like
Yeah.
internal panic na, shucks, I'm so dark. What
Yeah.
what are my producers gonna say? And like our makeup artist pa, yung foundation niya, it's fairer than my foundation.
Yeah.
Like shocks paano to. Um so there was that fear. But then when I came back, it's like, oh yeah, nice tan, ganun pa. And then although when I came back to practice, because I visited the Adamson volleyball team,
Yeah.
I haven't. It was my first time like really meeting them. Pero I was close with the basketball team, and when the basketball team saw me, the last time they saw me was October, and when I came back February, na I think they were like, "Rin, ang itim mo ha, ganyan, saan ka galing?" And it's like what? But I parang I really loved my tan.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like people are used to saying that, even if they don't mean it as an insult, it still comes off as one. But then recently, then I feel like people are more sensitive to issues of colorism. So
Yeah.
growing up, having like that girl bullying me before versus now,
Yeah.
the whole landscape has changed.
Yeah. No, I noticed lang that, Brett, that those thoughts you have at the back of your mind. Imagine what if you were fair skinned and you didn't have to like stress about all those small things which may seem insignificant to some people, but then to a brown skinned person, it's just unnecessary. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like
That's true.
how you, like, before becoming a courtside reporter, you had your own, like, an archetype of what a courtside reporter looks like. Do you think it's the same for
Mm-hmm.
everyone else, like the general public? Do you think, like, when they think of courtside reporter, they think, oh, chinita, fair skinned, charming, all that?
I'm actually not sure because I haven't really met someone na parang would come to me and say na those are her insecurities as well. Those are
Mm-hmm.
her like apprehensions to applying. Yeah, so but I think a lot of people have this image na mas makukuha siya kasi
Yeah.
she's prettier. Like cause one of my friends, I know it's kind of backwards, but my friend would always say, kasi you can teach being smart, you can teach this is like a different topic from courtside
Yeah.
reporting.
Yeah.
Pero I guess it really did play into like what opportunities I went for, having like a little bit of toxicity na ganun yung perception ng friend ko when it comes to things. Friend will always say na you can teach being nice, you can teach skill, but you
Yeah.
can't teach being pretty. So what if they're already, and then I
Oh,
thought, oh
man.
no, like auditioning for commercials, parang you can't teach being fair skinned, you
Yeah.
can't teach being mestiza, you can't teach, like height, but you can teach like her how to act. I
Yeah.
mean, at least, diba?
Jeez. Do you think that, like, any of those insecurities from being a courtside reporter spill over to your other interests, like, for example, broadcasting in general or TikTok content creation?
Mm, I think a lot of it was debunked actually when
Yeah.
I came into the industry, because a lot of my insecurities I found were just, yeah, very internal, and a lot of my peers were actually very supportive, and they didn't see me naman as someone at a disadvantage. And
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Morena strive na rin in the courtside industry, like Angelique Manto. She's one of the Morenas I really look up to. Like she always loves going to the beach, also just
Mm-hmm.
maintaining her color, but she still gets the opportunities that she needs, the opportunities that she deserves. So parang ayun nga, like at the end of the day, yeah, it's something that people could look at initially, but then you really have, like, skill is something that you can bank on it.
Yeah.
And I think coming into the world or the realm of content creation, I already have that certain confidence now. I don't care whatever. Like if you don't want me because of like my
Mm-hmm.
physical appearance, if you don't want me because I'm like Morena, if I'm brown, then whatever. I'm gonna get my opportunities. And true enough, it did arrive because I believe it's because of my skill, not
Yeah.
naman because I'm like, oh, she's so pretty,
Yeah.
diba? Parang, wow, at least now I can be like, I can be funny, I can
Uh-huh.
create scripts, like all these skills that I have honed throughout the years that actually were driven by my insecurities became my assets now. Na parang, okay, I make conyo content, like
Mm-hmm.
being conyo girl. What makes me different from other content creators? Syempre, we all have our own skills. Pero
Yeah.
the stuff that I have invested in through the years, like I get to write my script, I get to, sneak in some punchlines here and there.
Yeah.
And I think that's really like something that I am happy to do now.
Mm-hmm.
Na parang, yeah, these are skills na maybe were encouraged by my insecurities na for me to hone, but I'm reaping what I have
Yeah.
sown.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like your acting background and your broadcasting background really lends its hand to content creation then, because I feel like it's the perfect medium for like putting all those skills into use, especially in such a small-ish format, like of those
Mm-hmm.
skits that you're doing. And yeah, being part of the new, I guess, generation of content creators, I can imagine the responsibility you're feeling. Like, is there any pressure to
Mm-hmm.
produce content that's always gonna go viral, or do you have any breathing space for making stuff that you just wanna create?
Wow. Yeah. There was a time. Especially when I was starting, I was thinking to myself, hala, I need to continue making my videos hit like a certain number of views, a certain number of likes. And it would really mess up my whole game. Parang
Yeah.
I'm not doing it well, it's only been 2 months, but I think there was like a good week of my life of me thinking, I don't like what I'm doing because it's not hitting, it's not
Yeah.
making the cut to like go viral again. So there are times I go into a rut. Pero I had this talk with one of my friends from the courtside world, and then he told me, parang, why are you doing that, ba? Like, do you just want to go viral? Like, what's the end goal? And I told him, oh, I actually want to be like, well, I have two dreams. I want to be a reporter and maybe be an artista.
Yeah.
So parang sabi niya, does like being viral all the time, like just does hitting maybe 100K
Yeah.
likes all the time in all your videos, will that benefit it? I mean, it could, but then at the end of the day, parang people will still look at the skill behind it. And then yeah,
Yeah.
I realized there are a lot of people with bigger followings, bigger engagements. Pero I still look at like, okay, what can I bring to the table? Maybe it won't hit 100K likes
Mm-hmm.
or views. Maybe if I don't go into YouTube right at this moment, I would maybe like I would maybe lose touch with the Konya girl character. But at the end of the day, I just know what skills I have and I can
Mm-hmm.
tap into these skills naman anytime. So, ayun, I just stopped pressuring myself because I also had to prioritize
Yeah.
na I can't do it if I'm still studying and I have to finish studying for me to like get to where I want to be. So, yeah.
It's nice how your courtside reporter friend brought up how, was it a he or a she? She
He.
asked you what you wanted to get out of the whole content creation thing, which is pretty similar to this advice I think you heard, which was to know your whys because it's gonna get you to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then you mentioned, I guess one of your whys is still to be a broadcaster, and then the other one is to be an artista.
Yeah.
Like
So,
which do you
mhm.
end up, which do you see ending up in?
Honestly, right now, I'm enjoying kasi I'm really enjoying making content. I'm enjoying being myself. I'm enjoying meeting a lot of people, expressing my creativity. I want to have creative freedom, which is something I had to contemplate because, of course, I'm graduating and the opportunities that I take now, the stuff that I do now, it could like swerve me to a very opposite direction since I'm thinking about two dreams, ganyan. So I had a talk with my mom actually. Maybe news reporting is something
Mm-hmm.
that I will be putting on the side for now because the opportunities are leading up to like content creation
Mm-hmm.
and well hopefully show business. parang just being creative, ganyan. And it's opportunity that only comes once.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's something that I have to seize. But yun nga, if I already have my degree, I can always go back to being a
Mm-hmm.
news reporter.
Yeah, I think that's a really a lot like I think you mentioned in some other interviews where you say you're an introvert, but then you're a go-getter when it comes to things you want
Mm-hmm.
to seize or things you want to
Yeah.
happen. Like this one example where I think you were in an Aldab taping and then you tried to get the cameraman to focus on you
Oh
too.
my gosh.
And then you ended up singing with
Yeah.
Alden, which is
Yeah.
I don't know, for me, as someone who I think is a genuine introvert, it takes a certain level of confidence or like I don't know, I think it comes more from your personality nga, na yeah,
Mm-hmm.
having that I guess that confidence to break through those barriers. And I think even when it comes to, for example, auditioning to be a courtside reporter or uploading your latest TikTok post,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that's pretty cool how you get to constantly break through whatever barrier there is. Or do you feel no like hindrance to your introvertedness or your extrovertedness, I guess?
I use it kasi to like drive me. Get like I'm not I really don't. I mean, I love talking to people, I love interacting with them. Pero honestly, I just love solitude. I love being alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then when there are times, like honestly, if kasi sayang the opportunities.
Yeah.
But there are even now there are certain weeks na I'm just like don't want to do anything this week. I
Yeah.
just wanna not talk to anyone, not even my family, and just distance myself from the whole social media world. Because social media, the story behind that is I actually just came out of a social media detox when
Uh-huh.
I posted my first viral video. And that's where it all started. I'm just like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to do this anymore, like just
Yeah.
disappearing from the face of the earth. Because I do that talaga, like just no explanations, like oh sorry guys, I just came from like hibernating,
Uh-huh.
like I was in my hole. It's something I cannot do now. But yun nga, parang I always think to myself, well, I let my introvertedness get in the way of getting my opportunities. Because there are two very contrasting things.
Yeah.
You know, like being in media and being an introvert, it's so very
Yeah.
different. But I think it comes with an rin eh. Well, when I was in radio, I was very introverted. Like I was so insecure. I remember coming into like my first few radio shows, I wouldn't think that I would be that person. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think that I would be like, wow, Rain's a Sunjak. Like her skills are amazing. I just am so glad that I even got accepted in the first place. So parang slowly when I went into the media industry, that's when I parang slowly built my confidence na I can't be held back just because
Yeah.
I'm shy. And I was shy like a lot. Parang there were so many radio shows when I was starting out that all I could say was, yeah, that's what I would say lang. Like for the entire radio show.
Yeah.
And then just to break through that because it's so hard to just be comfortable with like now I'm so comfortable talking with you in a
Yeah.
podcast. But before at a radio show when I'm with my peers, it would be so hard for me to relate with them on air na parang nagkukwentuhan kami as if we've known each other
Yeah.
for the longest time. It was so hard to fake for me. So it's something that I had to learn throughout the years na rin. So ayun, I can't let it stop me. Even though sometimes
Whoa.
malakas pa rin yung pull na
Yeah.
parang don't accept that na rin. Don't accept that gig na rin. I didn't
Yeah.
even think that I would be a host when I started doing radio. Like I remember I was like, oh, I'm not for hosting it. I'm just for like radio behind the
Mm-hmm.
scenes ganon. I'm just for sitting in behind the camera. I'm happy na with it. I want to be a radio jock. Pero when I got thrown outside of my comfort zone to host, I was like shocked. It's something I have to do kasi
Yeah.
I'm connected with RX. It's a job that they're giving me. So ayun. It was slowly built through the years.
Yeah, geez. Side story. Because I also have some experience trying out to be a junior jock
Mm-hmm.
for Magic. I think in high
Yes.
school I tried to apply to be one of them. And then the whole
Mm-hmm.
process was really scary. Like they made us sit in these I think it was one of those karaoke rooms, karaoke
Like a
places.
boo. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was in I think Green Belt.
Mm-hmm.
2000, not 2011.
Oh my
So a while
goodness.
back, yeah. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I did the audition. I read the thing, the spiel, and then
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it. And then the note they gave me was, "Oh, just talk to more people because you still sound like you aren't comfortable doing it." And then I
Yeah.
took that with me, like even until now. And then it was only until I started editing these podcasts na like I'd hear my voice talking to people, and then I'd think, yeah, I get it.
You've come a
I get
long
what they mean.
way.
No,
What?
like I still get
No,
it.
you've come. Oh.
But yeah, I feel like I'm getting better at it, naman.
Mm-hmm.
But then yeah, scary to. But then yeah, I got that feeling of wanting to try out just because sayang then if I don't at least attempt to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I feel like is a big theme in your whole experience as a media person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, what was I gonna ask?
Okay.
Um, so right now it's heading towards more of artista than
Yeah. I feel
broadcaster.
so weird when people bring it up. It's like, I want to be one.
And then so far the opportunities na like I'm sure you still get those hosting gigs. You still get a lot of what is that?
Mm-hmm.
You've been in not yet. I mean ads, TV ads? No, not yet.
No, not yet. Not yet.
But eventually you would like to
Wow,
get
yes.
into stuff like that.
Yeah, why not?
Like the
Because
whole
it's
thing.
funny, eh. Like, like going viral. It really boosted pa my confidence
Mm-hmm.
because I was already sliding into my hole of introvertedness coming into the year. Like honestly, I didn't plan any of this. When this school year started, I was like, okay, fine. I had a break. When your AP stopped, I was so sad, obviously.
Yeah.
Pero I was like, of course, there's like a great deal of me being sad, but there's also this small percentage of myself na parang finally I get to take a break because it was really tiring, like always being around people. I mean, it's something that I love doing, pero as an introvert, you really have to like get yourself out there, and it's
Yeah.
extra effort to interact with people rather than for extroverts that like they really thrive in social environments. Like
Yeah.
I have cousins that like, can you just come here, like be next to me because I just wanna have people around and like
Mm-hmm.
talagang breakdowns during the pandemic. But like me, I honestly thrive just being in my room, being with my siblings, not talking to anyone.
Yeah.
Imagine like being at home and still taking social media detox. Like it, parang a lot of things have changed. Na
Mm-hmm.
I hello, did I get cut?
Yeah. Just a bit, but it's fine.
I sorry. All right. So yun, parang just being at home, it's something that okay, I'm gonna slide into my hole of being an introvert again the start of the year. And I released that video kasi mahilig talaga akong mag-post ng mga funny
Yeah.
skits ko. I like doing it with my family also, like I said in my other interviews as well. So just bringing it there, I didn't expect that people would like it. I
Mm-hmm.
just expected na, oh, maybe it will get me viral once. But being branded as like Konya girl, it's easier na for me to get opportunities. Like
Yeah.
recently, like I'm with this, what do you call this? Casting
Yeah,
agency
agency.
casting agency for commercials. They contacted me. They send me characters na parang tingin nila I can do because
Yeah.
of what I've shown on social media. And then I wouldn't think na they would remember me as Konya girl, but then
Mm-hmm.
they will when I sent the video, the casting director was like, "See that one? That video's better. It reminds me of your TikToks." And I'm just like, "Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
ayan na. People see it na."
Oh
So
geez.
yeah,
So I'm guessing like the future acting gigs you're gonna be getting are gonna be conjugal related. Is that something you
um,
see or no? Go ahead.
uh, I do love being Ponyo girl, like honestly. But yun nga, parang I've been telling my friends, like, what's next kaya for
Yeah.
me? Because I can't always be Ponyo girl. Like, if you imagine Main Mendoza, she wasn't always Yaya
Yeah.
Dub. It lost its novelty.
Mm-hmm.
But when she was doing it, when I'm doing it, like now that I'm doing it, and when Makoy was doing and still is doing Aunt Julie sometimes, like it's something that you love and you come back to from time to time. Pero like if you have bigger goals for yourself,
Yeah.
parang you have to step out of it. Like
Yeah,
what
that's
else
true.
could you bring to the table? So that's where all my other experiences with radio and courtside and hosting really helped
Mm-hmm.
with yon.
Yeah, and I feel like the safety that comes with inhabiting that character then and knowing that it's gonna be sort of a success is
Mhm.
is nice to have, but also sometimes kind of dangerous if you don't have that initiative to try and use stuff like what you said.
Mhm.
Have there been other ideas in your mind, like ways you want to try to reinvent yourself to maybe carve another personality or character for your audience? Or no naman, or is it still like just do whatever you want to do?
Um. Well, hopefully, if like I sorry. Ayan. Hopefully, if I transcend into maybe show business or even what do you call this, bigger platforms for content creation like YouTube, I would love to showcase naman me, like myself, my own personality. Because I mean, Connie Girl, it's a facet of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can be Konya, but I can also like there's just so much na parang I have also experienced that I would love to share. Like I would love to put out honestly like some inspiring motivational content because getting to well not I'm not really there yet from like my goals, my plans, but just getting somewhere from all the things that I have done, I feel like it could help people who were in the same predicament like
Mm-hmm.
I was in the past years because it hasn't always been easy for me to get like opportunities. It hasn't always been easy for me to get like postings or
Yeah.
hosting gigs or even interviews. So all this like I don't know, like getting so much press right now, it's it's so new to me eh. So parang it's I want to use the platform to like inspire others na parang oh if you have experienced this before, it's not going to be a hindrance for you to go for what you want.
Yeah. And you've expressed before how you want to also include some social responsibility into your content creation. Like it's not just purely for entertainment. Like I admire how you
Mhm.
are how you want to take it upon yourself to be of that kind of value, like social responsibility and being politically aware. Where does that
Mhm.
come from? Is that a UP thing or is it or has it been always part of your personality?
I think it's well, not naman always, but when I got into college, of course, like it's the age of information. In UP naman, I'm not very vocal. I'm not so like out there when it comes to my beliefs and really advocating for things. Pero parang when there's a cause that really hits home for me, na parang yeah, we all should care about this, especially like elections and national politics. I really hate it when people are so apathetic. So
Mm-hmm.
as much as possible, like because when you I have to put it in my voice eh.
Yeah.
Like kunyari in TikTok. On TikTok, I do it sometimes, especially for like elections kanyan. But then it's not the avenue for it. I still go to Twitter kasi that's where
Yeah.
people are more interactive eh. Because when you go to TikTok, parang yeah, you can insert it every once in a while. But yeah, you really have to the way I want to do it is I want it to be ingestible for people, not like me coming at
Yeah.
them na parang, you're wrong, this is what you have to say, ganyan. Kasi in media, um, when you get into media, what we're taught is we don't tell people, we don't tell people what to think.
Yeah.
We just tell them like, we just provide them information and they think about these things. We don't tell them na, eto, let's say, like, okay, you should oppose this certain
Mm-hmm.
person, this should be your view. No, we just present the facts and it's our it's our style na how to
Yeah.
like show information and data to people. They can shape their minds towards maybe being woke, something like that.
Yeah. I was also gonna comment on how I think I think I'm not sure if it's like a factor of your generation, but you guys are pretty like very aware of like content creating and social responsibility. And I don't think you millennial. I don't know. It's weird like to refer to myself as a millennial. But then yeah, it's something that we had to learn pa. But then I feel like in your Gen Z peers are
Yeah, Gen Z.
more like it's innate to you guys. Or is that part of your
Mm-hmm.
broadcasting background then or and being like exposed to all these different kinds of things?
Oh, I think on there and a lot of it's like not just my broadcast background, but also like what do you call this? Parang the cultural landscape that I'm growing up in. Parang seeing all these people care about issues, seeing all these people do
Mm-hmm.
their research and really like try to use their platform to even just a retweet goes a long way. Like, okay, para lang hindi puro, it's because life is not all fun and games like the way I see it. Because ako personally, I get bothered by some political situation. So I don't maybe like express my, kasi nga I don't wanna, I don't wanna, what do you call this? I don't wanna push my beliefs on other people.
Yeah.
So I retweet articles because because news person,
Yeah.
broadcast girl, ganyan. So they can check the facts, see for themselves, and then you go from there.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, if only more people had that broadcast background, I feel like we'd be better off online. Yeah.
Like without cancel culture.
Yeah. And then looking more into
Mm-hmm.
the facts and just being more aware of whatever they share will affect people in this way or that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So to end, oh, I was gonna ask you about, speaking of responsibility, have you gotten any like messages from your followers or people who follow you about like supportive messages or like fans reaching out to you saying how much they appreciate what you're doing and like, I mean, even and also relating to being Morena. Have you got any of those yet?
Yeah, I actually have gotten emails, like long emails parang help they give me questions like how could I maybe improve this, how could I maybe improve that. And I can't reply to all honestly because it's I don't see everything. But there are certain people who reach out, especially like through email. As much as possible I try to respond to them because thinking of myself like years back, if I had a person to ask and they were so kind as to answering my questions, it would really have helped my self esteem
Mm-hmm.
even more.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, like maybe like being the person I needed when
Yeah.
I was younger, like I wanted to be that to little girls out there. And of course, like coming from a position of privilege, well, I'm not super, super privileged, but of course, like compared to others, still, diba? So I really try to use my platform and like my position, I guess,
Yeah.
parang having
Yeah.
been through all those, just to encourage people na, yeah, it's not gonna be easy, but then you can do it. Like here's how you do it. Go get your opportunities,
Yeah.
girl. And even people abroad, parang reaching out na, oh yeah, can we get like a message of inspiration for you? There was this movement who reached out to me na parang okay, just talk about any topic you want. And I talked about like imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And yun.
Dang. That made me think. I mean, you just saying imposter syndrome, just my life flashed before my eyes. Anyways,
Right?
yeah. Are there any like role models you want to shout out? Like you mentioned Angelique Manto as someone being Morena and the courtside reporter. Are there any other like Ates, Morena Ates that you look up
Mm.
to?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, Inca, for
Mm-hmm.
one. I think being a content creator kasi in this day and age, there's so many Morena people really rising up. And I'm so happy because like Inca, ganyan. And of course, McCoy. Like McCoy, I've been exchanging messages with
Yeah.
McCoy recently. Also, Marvin Foha. So like just these people, having these people to look up to who have been in the content creation platforms that I am right now, I'm
Yeah.
in right now, or in the content creation platforms that I wish I could go to, like YouTube, ganyan. Just seeing them thrive, it's so helpful to like just getting confidence from what they're achieving. Now, oh, if they can, I can also.
Yeah. Nice. So not only in just content creation side, but then I feel like it's really strange how you're becoming also one of those people that people can look up to for themselves. And yeah, that whole cycle of being responsible and being aware of like the effect
Mm-hmm.
you have on other people and being such an empowering and positive force is really commendable. So props to you guys with that.
Thank you so much.
And before we end, do you have anything to plug or like where can
Uh,
people follow you?
I don't have anything to plug right now, but yeah, follow me on TikTok at Rain Matienzo. Um, if you don't have TikTok, it's fine. You can follow me on Twitter at Rain Matienzo also because I post there. I interact with a lot of people there. And then yeah, Instagram same as well, Facebook same. I don't know. I think I'm really planning on releasing like YouTube videos soon, but it's still in the works because I have to finish schooling. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, yeah, please read Rappler. I'm currently interning for Rappler at the Global Desk. So we are cooking up a lot of cool stuff lately, like just not being informed about what's happening in the Philippines, but also what's happening globally, like Southeast Asia. You get to see talaga like how their political systems are the same as well here. So parang, yeah, it gives people perspective. So check that
Mhm.
out. That's what I'm
Nice.
working on.
So much stuff, and thank you so much for being part of the Morena Morena podcast. And anyway, okay, I guess I'll just cut there. How do you want to end? Do you want to fade out or do you want to abruptly stop?
I think, oh, maybe you could just fade out.
Okay, so pretend you're gonna, or no, tell me a secret. Start telling me a secret, and then I'll just, in the edit, I'll just fade it out.
Oh my gosh, what's my secret? I don't have a secret recently, ha. Oh, but
Okay.
like maybe. Oh, actually, you know what? I graduated 2015. I've been